Yo, what is up guys, Bob87 King here, and today we will be doing the cast assessment of Disventure Camp Season 4, Carnival of Chaos, which premieres on Saturday, and to be honest, I'm very excited for this new season, and also the animation of the season looks genuinely incredible. Just the side and front profiles look incredibly well done, and not scary like most total drama characters, so for that, I do actually think for what we've seen, I do think this animation style is better than the total drama seasons that we've been getting, so yeah, there's that obviously. And I know you guys are wondering, Bod V, why is like the clips you're using like in the vintage mode? Well, that's just because I want to, and it looks cool. So, yeah, there we go. Anyways, we do have 18 people to talk about. Let's just get started with my favorite character in Tristan. Straight up, I don't know what it is about Tristan that makes me really like them, but I just feel like they're a very lovable character. They remind me of the Goths kind of, but if they were just more like sociable and more approachable as just a person. So there's that. They are the same age as me. They don't really have a strategy though, which is kind of why I don't think they're going to win the season, to be honest. And to be honest, also, I feel like there's a good chance they don't also make it to the merge just because they are a bit younger, they are a bit more naive. But I feel like, genuinely speaking, I think there is a path for them to make it to the merge. However, all my notes, I did write down the chances of them making the merge and also winning. And I give Tristan, honestly, a 4 out of 10 for making the merge and a 3 out of 10 for winning the season. So we can just move on to the next person. Moving on to Benji, who I know a lot of people seem to think that he's going to be an early boot. And to be honest, at this point, I don't really know. But I did predict that he will make it to the merge most likely. I gave him a 10 out of 10 for that. And for the winner's prospect, I also gave him a 8 out of 10, to be honest. To where it honestly is very tough for me to actually predict a winner, at least preseason. Maybe after episode 1, I'll have a winner pick prediction. But yeah, honestly, I don't really know if I have one. But at the end of the video, I will make one. So there's that. And overall, Benji, he's okay. Again, he's confident, calls himself the sexiest guy, when really in this Venture Camp world, I don't even think he makes the top 20, and I don't even know if there's 20 male characters, so yeah, there's that. He's a 21 law student, also Canadian, same as me, so A. And overall, yeah, I do think he at least has a strategy, and I do think he's someone who could make that work, to where, yeah, I gave Benji an 8 out of 10 just because of that. Moving on to Amelie, a 36-year-old rich woman, which, to be honest, I don't really like Amelie. To be honest, the only thing saving Amelie is kind of the same reason why I don't hate Rhea, and that is just because, well, they're hot. So, yeah, there's that. And again, she's not here to make friends, and honestly, I just think that Amelie's going to be just a really piss poor player. I'd be really shocked if she makes the merge, to be honest, just because, again, I don't think her strategy is going to work. Again, I don't really think she even has one, to be honest, where she's pretty over-dramatic, and at least her, like, a confessional video or intro video, to where I don't think she's really going to be a people person, and actually, I do think she says she's not a people person, so yeah, overall, I just don't have much faith in Amelie, and I gave her a 0 out of 10 in both categories. Moving on to Ted Gordon, a 46-year-old poker player, and I do have high hopes for Ted to make it very far in the season and make a massive impact. I do think his overall domineering personality could rub people the wrong way, but I also feel like it's a cast that could allow his game to actually be played, to where I do feel like Ted could be a great player. I do think Ted is going to be the villain of the season, to be honest, to where I do think just for that reason, obviously I do think Ted's going to make it to the merge. He's not going to be like some Amelie character where I feel like Amelie doesn't stand a chance and she's just going to be a villain. I feel like Ted will actually be able to make some pretty strong moves and overall could position himself to do very well. Moving on to Hannah, who I honestly really do like Hannah as a character. Also, she is very hot as well, to where most of the women on the cast are whew, fine shit. But yeah, Hannah's a 19-year-old Canadian, again, just 1 year older than me, so I feel like I could have an actual chance. But anyway, she was recruited. Again, she doesn't really know much about the game, but I do feel like Hannah's just someone who is pretty likable naturally, to where I do feel like Hannah will just naturally fit in. I don't think there's going to be a strong chance that she doesn't make it to the merge, and once she does, I feel like there's a good chance for her to win. Again, I do think Hannah probably is going to be the decoy winner, though, so I gave her 7 out of 10 for that reason. But I would be very shocked if Hannah was an early boot, and I just overall in general really like Hannah.
Is that your best friend? You don't know who we are, do you? Goodbye, Mr. Muller.
Moving on to Zade, a 30-year-old chef, or just a wannabe chef. And again, I really do like Zade. Again, he probably is my favorite male character out of this entire cast. Probably is my third favorite of this cast, where I really do like this cast. So me saying he's number 3, that does mean something. Again, he seems like just one of those guys who are very nice, but not like one of those nice guys who that's all you can really say about them. DJ. But I do feel like just Zade overall just seems like a pretty nice, likable guy. And again, I feel like he will make it far into the season, and hopefully he does win. I don't think he will, but I really hope he does. It seems like him and Ivy are getting along, and I do really ship them already, so yeah, I have very high hopes for Zade. I don't know how well he's going to be strategically. He does want to play fair and keep his head down, so I do feel like naturally he probably will make it pretty far just due to the fact that he does seem physically fit to where, yeah, genuinely speaking, I do think Zade could be a contender to win. I just don't know if they're actually going to let it happen. Moving on to Marissa, who just seems really sweet, and I really do like her personality. I really do hope her and Anastasia are a couple to where they do seem pretty cute together in the trailer together, so there's that. I don't really think she's going to win, but I do think she is going to make it very far. She does have potential to be like a decoy winner once again, and I do think there is a chance that she actually could win just because I feel like this venture camp might have a more physically inclined winner. To where, yeah, I do really like Marissa, I like her vibe, and yeah. Moving on to Logan, a 20-year-old bronze medalist in swimming, and to be honest, I just feel like Logan gives off the vibe, kind of like a Wayne, kind of like a Tom, to where I do think he's going to be more complex than Wayne and Tom combined, to where I do think just seeing an athlete who kind of just seems like he wants to get out of the spotlight, or at least being an athlete, so there's that, to where I do think they could explore that, and I do think he is just someone who is going to be primed to make it to the merge, and I do think there is a good chance that he could end up winning the season. Overall, though, I'm pretty excited for Logan, so there's that. Moving on to Jade, a 29-year-old who straight up just does not look 29, but then again, black don't crack, so take that as you will. I do think there's a good chance she'll make it to the merge just because, again, she seems like one of those characters that seem pretty prominent, seem pretty game savvy to where I don't think she's going to rub anyone the wrong way. I could see a potential where, like, she accidentally makes the team lose the challenge and they could vote her off just due to that notion, but I do think outside of that, I don't think there's going to be a huge chance she gets taken out. It didn't really seem like she wants to talk about her vitiligo, which does make sense, but I do think it's something that she will have to face at one point, and she does want to have an evolution of the game or make an evolution of the gameplay, which I could see being the case. Again, I do think this cast is a cast that could be successful to her manipulation style or just her gameplay style to let her really run the show, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for Jade overall. Moving on to Spencer, a character who I genuinely really did like when I first watched his video. Again, he's a 21-year-old England student studying statistic probability, which is cool. And he also used the word bollocks, which reminded me of Penner from Survivor Cook Island, so there's that. But I feel like the more I've seen from Spencer, just me actually thinking about it, I just don't know if I'm really gonna. I mean, I know I'm gonna enjoy Spencer as a character. I just feel like Spencer won't be what I actually imagined, just because I think that him and Diego might be a ship, which is like the third time this venture camp's putting like a scrawny guy with another just buff guy, which is just, I mean, it's cool, but it's like kind of repetitive, but whatever. And not to mention, I do think that he's someone who just, while he talks about having a strategy, it's like kind of a case with Alec to where it's like, will he actually use that? To where it's like, I don't know, man. I like Spencer, but I don't really think he's going to win the game. Moving on to Ivy, who I found pretty corny in her like confessional video, but I just really like Ivy's vibe. Again, I think she will have a good relationship with Zade and Tristan to where I love both of those characters, so I obviously love Ivy as well. And also just individually, I find Ivy just pretty funny. Again, she's kind of dramatic, but it also comes off as a pretty lighthearted way. But I do see a path to where I think it's either going to be her or Tristan to be like this pre-jury kind of boo to where like everyone's going to say that they were robbed and should come back. And I do think it probably more so could be Tristan, but again, I could see a path where it's actually Ivy. I don't have much faith in Ivy winning the game, but I really do hope she makes it very far. Moving on to Richard, a 61-year-old retired coach, and to be honest, he seems alright. Again, I didn't really vibe with Richard's personality. Again, I don't dislike him, but I just kind of find him boring. Again, it seems like he's probably going to play the same game that Connor played in All-Stars at the Merge, to where I do think that could work. The problem is, in my opinion, I just don't know if the cast will actually really jive with his personality overall to where I don't really think he's going to make it to the merge, and I really doubt he will win the season. So Moving on to Sister Isabelle, who I also really do like. I put her in my S tier. To be honest, I do think there's a good chance she will make it to the merge. And to be honest, I do like her chances at winning, to where I do think she seems pretty savvy. Again, she wants to be underestimated. It seems like she wants to, like, play a more loyal game, kind of. To where I do think, just naturally, I do think Isabelle could do very well. She also does seem to have a friendship with Natalia, which is pretty cool. To where, yeah, I do see Isabelle making it to the long run. And overall, I just like her vibe, so there's that. Moving on to Alessio, and that is definitely not how you pronounce his name, but let's just roll with it. Again, he is a 38-year-old artist, and I don't think he has a chance in hell to win the season. Again, he literally says he doesn't have the easiest time connecting with people. We see in the trailer he's off by himself, and just overall, I don't think he has the strategic chops like an Alec, to where I don't think he can really pull off any moves. I don't think he's going to win the season, so let's just move on. Moving on to Natalia, who I genuinely do think has a good chance to do very well in the game, to be honest, just because I think she has a pretty good game sense, in my opinion, to where I do think she does seem a bit overconfident, but in my opinion, the overconfidence is kind of warranted, to where I just think naturally I do think she will fit in, and I do really hope her and Isabelle become like very close friends and just best friends overall. I just like this Venture Camp friendships, okay? They have a nice build up, so there's that. And overall, I don't have much else to say about Natalia, but to be honest, I don't know how it's likely she's going to win. Moving on to Diego, a 21-year-old Colombian tour guide, and to be honest, he just straight up reminded me of Aubrey from Next Generation, and for that reason, he's automatically an A tier. Again, I don't think he's the most strategically savvy person. Again, he mainly came on here just to make some new friends because he loves making friends. To where I do think he could make it to the merge, but I think his target could be too big to where he gets taken out probably like early or mid-merge. Moving on to Linda, a 51-year-old housewife, and to be honest, I also really do like Linda's character. I don't know how far she's really going to make it into the season, just because in my opinion, out of all like the kind of more strategically savvy people, and she does seem pretty savvy in my opinion, to where she does want to prove that she's still got it, so I feel like she's going to play a more aggressive game, and also want to play into like the innocent housewife. I just don't know how far that's really going to go. Again, I can see her making it to the merge. I don't know how likely it is. I'm pretty 50-50 on that, but I just feel like she's going to be like this decoy villain, or kind of like the secondary villain if she truthfully is one, to where while I do like her and do want to see her go far, I just don't know if she's really going to even win or even make it far. Now moving on to the final person, we do have Anastasia, who, again, I like. Seems like one of the more villainous contestants on the season, so I do think for that reason she could make it very far. Again, she cares a lot about her image, to where I do think that could hinder her or help her in the game, to where overall I just do think Anastasia seems like a pretty fun character, and I hope her and Marissa get together. So, yeah. Now it's time for me to pick a winner for the season, at least preseason, to where honestly this was super tough. Again, I really do think a lot of this cast does have potential to actually win the season or just genuinely make a massive impact. But in terms of winning, genuinely, I don't really know. Again, I'm not super confident in this pick. Again, just because in my opinion, so much more characters were more explored for this short time that we were given with them. Again, I think Ivy could be someone who has a story arc of just proving that not all actors are like terrible people. Again, I think Zade could win, but in my opinion, I'm going with Logan. Just because, again, I just think that they could be riding off the Wayne train and just pick someone who is more lighthearted and fun, to where I do think I could see that. And also, I do think there's a good chance Logan does have more depth to him, to where, honestly, that's where I'm at with this. I'm picking Logan as my preseason winner pick, and that is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, thank you. Love you guys. Bye.